Welcome back to another episode of In the Slot. I'm your host, Jacob Fraser, with my co-host, Keanen Tregaskis, and we're previewing the gold medal game. It's an early start for us here in Vancouver, 5 in the morning, but I'm excited to be getting up that early for Canada, USA.
Yeah, it is exciting, but it might be a little tired.
I've already got my alarm set. I've got one for 4:45, one for 4:50.
You're pumped.
Oh yeah. I was talking to a couple buddies of mine last night. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to sleep. Like I'm just so
You're
excited
that
for this
excited.
game. Yeah,
Yeah,
I am. I mean this is what we talked about, right? Like we talked about it had to be Canada US final.
it felt like that was gonna happen. Sweden
Yeah.
gave him a little run, but nothing, unfortunately. But oh well.
Yeah, and a couple scares for Canada there. Obviously, Mitch Marner, OT winner over Czechia. And then a little bit of a controversial finish to the game against Finland. I mean, what did you make of the penalty? Like, it's a high stick. I agree with a lot of the sentiment around the league, like, or around
The IOC.
wherever. Yeah, just that realistically in a Stanley Cup, if it were a Stanley Cup final game, that doesn't get called that late in the game.
Mhm.
But a high stick's a high stick, and we know that the IIHF calls games a lot tighter.
They do, but it was also a bit of an embellishment by
Mm-hmm.
McKinnon.
Yeah,
I think he can. The NHL might be taking him off the ice as well, but
yeah, I think that's fair.
it's tough, but the refereeing has been a little odd all tournament. Like if you look at
Mm-hmm.
like the quarterfinal game, obviously Canada Czechia. Czechia had too many men on the ice for that goal, and they had six on the ice for a while. Then you look at this game with Finland, and you can say that, and then it's just been a little odd.
Yeah, it definitely has been. But yeah, and then so obviously that game ends in a bit of a nail biter for Team Canada fans, but Canada prevails, and then you had kind of the opposite in the USA Slovakia semifinal game. It wasn't really much of a game at all. Like I thought the US just kind of dominated. But what did you think about the jersey matchups there? Because
Oh,
early on in the
it was
game,
terrible. You'd think there'd be a little more communication beforehand, right?
yeah,
Like it always feels like one team's supposed to wear the colors, one team wears the whites, and I don't know what got lost this time. But they look, especially those two countries too. It's not like it's Sweden where there's at least a dash of yellow on it. Like it's the
mhm.
same three colors.
Yeah, I well early on in the game I was like, man, Slovakia's really playing bad. They're turning the puck over a lot, and then I saw a video. I think it was Spit and Chicklets. Their like little watch party before the game started, or maybe it was right at puck drop. Biz was like, "Oh, Slovakia is going to be," not Slovakia. He said, "There's going to be a bunch of turnovers in this game. You can't tell these jerseys apart."
Yeah,
And right off the bat, that's what was going on with Team Slovakia.
yeah. As much as it sucked, I don't think that was what lost them the game. I don't
No,
think if they're wearing blue, will they end up in the finals? It's just it's dumb.
yeah,
Like honestly, it is.
yeah. Bring a third jersey. Every team should be bringing three just in case something like
Just in
that
case. Yeah.
happens.
But yeah,
But
Finland's journey was an interesting one too. They had that nice comeback against Switzerland, a 2-0 comeback against Switzerland, and then immediately flip into the semifinals, and it's a 2-0 choke against Canada for them.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it was a good tournament for Finland. Like, I think
Yeah,
they overexceeded at least my expectation. I didn't have them pegged as a bronze medal winner by any means, but yeah, they looked really good all tournament long. Very solid defensively. That's kind of how we expected them to play. But their offense really shined quite a few times as well.
yeah, and with the way Sweden performed this tournament, it kind of felt like the bronze medal was wide open.
Hmm.
Like it felt like every game, it's like, oh, so and so's not playing just because.
Yeah,
Like obviously there's the Victor Hedman stuff who's apparently injured. Jesper Bratt didn't play the first two periods in the quarterfinal game. Philip Forsberg hardly touched the ice in the round robin. I don't understand what they're doing. These are premier players in the NHL, right? Like Jesper Bratt should have been on the ice every single period. And
yeah,
then somehow immediately he's noticeable in the third period. Maybe it's because it's fresh legs, but it's also because he is a great player. You're benching a
yeah.
40 goal scorer in Philip Forsberg. It just doesn't entirely make sense.
Yeah, and you've got Pontus Holmberg playing, albeit fourth line minutes, but he's still playing more than those guys. And I get you want him on the team because he's a penalty kill specialist, but leave him on the bench until he has to kill penalty then.
Yeah, you're running 13 forwards. Every team's running that.
Hmm.
You can run your four lines, and then sure, Pontus Holmberg is the penalty kill guy, right? Like that's what he's on the team for, like you said. Instead of just sitting Phil Forsberg for some reason or Jesper Bratt.
Yeah.
It was some odd decisions. They've been scrutinized for it, and rightfully so, and we'll continue it here.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But let's just dive into this gold medal game preview here because I mean, as I said earlier, I'm really excited for this. I guess just my first question I'll ask you, what are your expectations for this game?
A close physical game, which is what we saw twice in the Four Nations. There's not going to be fights because it's the Olympics, but it's going to be physical. It's going to be chippy. These are the two premier hockey nations right now. They're they're going to be at each other's throats as often as they can because they know that every edge you get matters, right?
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
I, I could also expect you might see some offsetting penalties throughout the game too, just to try and control things.
yeah, definitely. Um, One thing that I wanted to talk to you about because Canada put out that line of Sam Bennett, Brad Marchand, and Tom Wilson. I like the idea of that line matching up with the Kachuk Eichel line just to start the game. Like maybe you don't go to it the entire game, but I think that would
Set
be
the
an
tone.
electric start to the game. Yeah, set the tone.
Yeah, that would set the tone right away. Those are your chippy bruiser esque guys, especially if the Kachucks and Eichel are the ones out there to start it for the USA. You can immediately get right under their skin. It's not difficult to get under the Kachuk's skin. Get in their head right away, and that's a very big possibility with how they play. They're going to give it right back to him. Look at what Matthew Kachuk was doing to Slavkovsky yesterday
I was just
before
gonna
the
bring that
puck even
up.
dropped.
Yeah,
Like it wasn't necessary, but it's the Kachuk way.
yeah, yeah. And I liked Slavkovsky's little like he didn't really buy into it at all. Like he just let him do it, and then as soon as the puck drops, kicks out Matthew Kachuk's feet a little bit, and
Yeah,
the Slovakia bench went a bit nuts for that. So I like to see that from Juraj Slavkovsky. Just don't back down. Who cares who that guy
yeah.
is on the other side of the dot? But
Slav's a professional.
yeah,
He's not gonna fall for those antics. He'll just win in the end.
yeah. I mean, didn't, but
Yeah, but the little skirmish,
yeah.
not the game.
But yeah, and then obviously the health of Sidney Crosby is a big question. I mean, here's the thing: like I think I read something today that said there's a 70% chance that he was going to play. When I
Okay.
hear 70%, that means he's playing in my mind.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards playing as well.
Yeah. He
Like,
practiced earlier today as well. I feel like
yeah, I
if he's
saw
good enough to
that.
practice, he's good enough to play.
Yeah, he's the leader. Like that's the heart and soul of this Canadian team. He's been there since the golden goal back in 2010. That's what he's known for. That's when he's led the team. He's on the ice. The team's just more. They're just better, right? You got the leader on the ice. You got him on the bench. You're rallied a little more. There's a little more motivation. You got that leadership. It's important.
Hmm. Yeah, 100%. And yeah, like with Nathan McKinnon playing, we're not sure what he's playing through, but it seems like injury. There was that clip of him puking on the bench or something. I don't know if he was
Yeah,
actually puking. It kind of looked like he was just spitting to me. But either way, he's playing through something. He hasn't looked quite at 100% in terms of dominating the game as you would expect Nathan McKinnon to. Obviously, he scored the game winning goal. He's still a huge part of that Canadian roster, but with him playing not quite to 100% of his abilities, having Sidney Crosby in the lineup as well is just massive in terms of balancing out your lineup. Like,
who are you taking out of the lineup if Crosby's back?
yeah, that's something that I've been battling with too because I haven't minded the play of Seth Jarvis,
Yeah,
but I think he becomes the odd man out. You've got Sam Reinhart, who hasn't played a ton 5-on-5, but he's that power play guy. He's on the top unit. And then I don't think after the way that Wilson, Bennett, Marchand line played last game, I don't think you can take one of those guys out either. So I would think Seth Jarvis would be the odd man out if
I
Crosby's
was
back in.
yeah, I was gonna say Jarvis as well. I think Suzuki's name was floating around a little bit, but he had that nice goal to rebound at the end of the Czechia game, and he's also very good defensively too, which you need from
Yeah.
a centerman. I don't
Yeah,
think he
that's the
goes out.
thing. I don't think you can take a centerman out just because if a centerman goes down, even if you start
Yeah,
Suzuki on the wing, you might need him to play down the middle later on in the game. It just gives you more options there.
exactly. Yeah, you need the centers, especially a center who's a good two-way center, right? That's very important for the position, and I think Suzuki has that edge, which is
Hmm.
what's going to keep him in the lineup for tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. But yeah, just like, I don't want to get into predictions for the game because I don't want to jinx anything, obviously. So
Okay.
we won't get into predictions, but a lot of people have been talking about the possibility of this Olympic gold medal final ending in 3-on-3, which is a very
I'm
real
not
possibility.
I'm not a fan of that. That's especially not in a medal game. I think
Hmm.
it's fine for the round robin, so you can get the games wrapped up. The moment you're in the elimination games, you play it the way a hockey game's supposed to be played, which is 5-on-5 until you have a winner in that overtime period. It kind of sucked watching the Czechia Canada game end that way, and then the Canada USA gold medal women's match end that way, especially watching they ended so quickly too. Like there's
Hmm.
no build up, there's no anxiety at all. Yeah, you had some couple chances for both teams, but it's not the way you want to win. It's not the way you want to see your team lose too, right? You play 60 minutes of 5-on-5 scoring what, a goal or two goals each, and then you're forced to watch three men skate around. It, it's just not the way it should be.
Yeah, and in a 3-on-3 with that kind of stakes on the line too, like I don't think we're gonna see exciting trading chances kind of back and forth hockey. I think we're
Yeah.
gonna see whoever wins that opening draw might hold on to the puck for 5 minutes until they can build a legit scoring chance, you know?
Yeah, they'll dip in between the offensive zone and the neutral zone until they see the perfect chance.
Yeah.
Like it would probably be like that. We saw that a little bit in both in the couple of playoff games we've seen go to um, overtime already.
Hmm.
And the premier gold medal match, the one that people were talking about before the Olympics started, they would do that too because they're not going to risk losing because they took a crazy chance and all of a sudden it's a 2-0 the other way for Canada or the US or whatever, right?
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Not getting into predictions, but just who do you see as being the favorite in this matchup between Canada and the US?
I think Canada's the favorite on the betting markets, and I don't often even go on those, but I would give it to them as well, anyways, simply because they have the best players in the tournament, like Connor McDavid, Macklin Celebrini. I believe they're 1 and 2 in points for the tournament, and
Yeah, that
McKinnon's not
may
far
have
behind
changed
them.
after this
Oh yeah, I guess
bronze
it
medal
could have
game,
because of the
but
bronze medal game,
yeah.
but coming into today, they were 1 and 2.
Mhm. Yeah, I'll quickly look that up here. Can't remember because I know Slavkovsky was up there, but obviously he
I
didn't.
think he was a couple points behind though, and they only scored
Right.
one goal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also with
Yeah,
Canada,
McDavid and Celebrini are 1 and
yeah,
2.
okay. And yeah, those guys can take a game, can take control of a game more than I think the American players can. Like obviously the U.S. have had players who are amazing. They've had guys who've stepped up, like Dylan Larkin. He's been great, scoring a lot of goals for them. But in terms of the generational player who can control a game, it is Connor McDavid, right?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I just think like the depth on the back end that the US has is so much better than what Canada
yeah,
has to offer. Like it makes me nervous for Team Canada because the Americans' third pairing, you can argue that would easily be the second pairing for Team Canada.
Yeah, and without Josh Morrissey, who's been officially ruled out for tomorrow, the depth looks even worse for
Yeah,
Canada.
yeah, exactly. Like you're fronting who? Thomas Harley and Colton Pareko, I believe, are the second pairing right now for Team Canada.
Something like that. But
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. That's the point. Like the depth's a little weak there defensively for Canada.
yeah. I just pulled it up. Yeah, it's Harley and Pareko on the second pair, and then holy dude, the third pair for the U.S. is Jake Sanderson and Zach Werenski.
Yeah, that's an amazing third pair.
That can't be the third pair. It's listed as the third pair, but Slavin and Faber to me is the third pair, and that's
And
still
that's listed as their
unbelievable.
second pair.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would switch those two. And obviously Hughes McAvoy is the top pair.
yeah, but still, like Faber and Slavin are two of the best defensive defensemen in the world.
Yeah, and if that's your second or your third, you're incredibly happy with that.
Yeah, but yeah, I agree with you though up front. Like I think Canada has the edge for sure because they have those game breakers: McDavid, Celebrini, McKinnon. Um, Sidney Crosby can be that if he
Is healthy.
is
If he's on
healthy.
the ice.
Yeah, but yeah, the defense is definitely a concern for me. But what about goaltending? Jordan Bennington has risen to the occasion all tournament long, all four nations long. He's always risen to the occasion. But do you still have questions going into this gold medal final, or do you feel confident that Bennington can get it done?
I'm fairly confident. He's a little slow start against Finland, but I think he'll rise to the occasion again. He makes the big saves when it matters in crunch time in the second and third period. The further the game goes along, we see him just lock in, make some great saves. There's that great chance by Czechia in the overtime round of that quarterfinal game. He makes his mistake and then he doesn't make another one. That
Mhm.
seems to be his thing. He'll give you the early one, but he won't give you the late one. And Canada's goal scoring will help him out.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. The U.S. they on paper Connor Hellebuck is arguably the best goalie in the world,
Yeah,
but there's some question marks there about his ability to perform in the big games.
he's had a good tournament so far.
Mhm.
But yeah, the finals is we'll see. He's got obviously the best defensive pairings you could ask for in front of him, and I think that helps as much as it can. But I don't think it's going to come down to goaltending. I think it's going to come down to the goal scoring, like who gets the better chances, not who makes the better saves.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I will say also just talking about this matchup, like the USA has had an easier draw to get to the
Yeah,
gold medal game than Canada has. Canada had to get through two games against Czechia, which going in, they were
Czechia was
favored to come fourth or fifth in the
yeah
tournament.
they were basically neck and neck with Finland, I'd say.
Yeah. And then Canada has to get through Finland, has to get through Czechia. They handedly beat Switzerland, obviously France, but the US just having to really match up against Sweden. That was really the only threat that they had to play against leading up to this gold medal game.
Yeah, it was an easy group stage for them. They didn't really have anything to worry about. The thing with America is they've started the games very slowly, other than the Slovakia game, which finally they locked in. But you look at Germany, they started slow against them. It was 1-0 after the first period. They only scored one against Sweden in the 60 minutes of regulation. And I think that's a concern if you're an American fan is can this team get some quick goals or can they get their chances quick and can they get them often or are they going to be slow out of the gate and get in their own way, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Like this start is going to be crucial for both teams. Because I would say Canada, like other than well, not every game, but there's been a couple games where Canada's had a slower start as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember what the goal differential is, but they've dominated the second period of games. And so against the US, like you in the gold medal game, these two teams matching up, you need to put a full 60 minutes together. You can't take a couple minutes off here, a couple minutes off there. You need a full 60. And so like it's just I feel like it's really going to come down to who starts off the hottest. And I feel like that opening goal could even decide the winner right there.
It could, yeah.
Yeah, not that it's going to be a 1-0 game,
No,
but just
I hope
that.
not. I hope there's a little more action than just one goal.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm really excited for this gold medal game. We've been waiting for what, 8 years now? No, 12 years now.
Yeah, 2014 was the last one.
Yeah. So, and that wasn't against the Americans either. That was against Sweden, I want to
Yeah,
say.
they beat him 3-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been 16 years since it was a Canada USA final, and that was Vancouver. The
Hmm.
3-2 overtime win, 5-on-5 overtime, which is obviously better.
It was 4-4.
It was 4-4. Well, that's better than 3-on-3.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got the I've got the Canada jersey and
The
then the
2010
Vancouver
jersey.
2010 mascots
Yeah,
behind me here. Yeah. Is there anything you wanted to talk about in the final game before we wrap?
I don't think so. I think we touched on it all.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, one thing that we didn't mention is McDavid obviously breaking Teemu Solani's all-time point
Yeah,
record at the, or
for
not
a
all-time, sorry,
single Olympic.
yeah, single Olympic point record, which is incredible, and hope to see that he can build off that in the gold medal game as well.
Yeah,
But we'll wrap it up there. We'll be back sometime in the coming week here to get back to reality, get back to NHL content. The trade deadline coming up, but just enjoy the gold medal game. It's going to be a lot of fun, and
yeah.
hopefully, hopefully my heart's not broken and some other people's are. But yeah, thank you for listening to another episode of In the Slot. Check us out on our socials, like this video, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks again for listening.